Today I wanted to make myself some sort of bread for this week, but alas, I did not have any parchment paper. So I took one of these from the air fryer, greased it a little bit, poured my egg white bread, the 3-ingredient egg white bread. It's very thin, but I'm going to use it for 2 sandwiches for this week. Cut it half and half. So stay tuned and see what I will be creating with this bread. Wonder Bread gone wild in bun form. I cut the bread in half to make 2 buns, and now I'm going to cut each of these in half. Pretty good. And this is bun number 1. What do you think I'll be making with this? Any guesses? And this is bun number 2. I don't know if I can hold off until later this week. Probably tomorrow I'll be doing a creation, a big creation, a big carnivore creation with a twist. Good morning. I woke up 5 minutes too late. Sunrise was at 6:49 this morning. So I said, ruh-roh, I have to wake up. Get up. Get that sunlight in my eyes. I've been out here for about 2 minutes now because I want to finish the video. I'll pan the forest to show you. It snowed yesterday. I'd have to guess it's probably about an inch and a half that fell. Yeah. And here's the lake. All thawed out. Nevertheless, it still snowed. In like a lamb came March, out like a lion. But the day's still young. Let's go. This is what I will be making with one of the sandwiches that I made yesterday, the 3-ingredient bread. I start very simply. First off, do you only use your keto chow mixer just for keto chow? Not me. I use it for making my dressings. But in the interest of time, I'm going to just briefly show you how I mix these ingredients. I put 3 tablespoons of the red wine vinegar in. I take about half of a teaspoon of the Redmond's seasoned salt, a half, no, not really a half, maybe about a quarter heaping of oregano, a pinch of the red pepper to add a little spice, a little something something, a good over half of a heaping teaspoon of the Italian seasoning, a quarter teaspoon of paprika, basically for color, and a little bit of the chili powder, maybe a quarter of a teaspoon. Put that all into the keto chow shaker. Then I take the extra virgin olive oil. This is from Aldi. this particular brand. And I put about 6-7 tablespoons of the extra virgin olive oil into the shaker. And I shake it up, and that's the dressing for my sandwich for today. Well, so much for not having my mise en place in place when I made my dressing. I didn't add the minced onion, and I like to put about 1/8 of a teaspoon in. And of course, how could I forget the garlic powder? I will go, because I have a small amount, it's just for one sandwich, maybe 2. I'm going to do 1/8 of a teaspoon of the garlic powder. Should be overflowing. And with the shaker ball, give it another shake and let the flavors meld before I make the sandwich later. Okay, this is the beginning of a great carnivore grinder. There's the bread that I made yesterday, the 3-ingredient, soft as a pillow bread. I made it this way as opposed to in a bread pan because I did not have parchment paper. If you didn't catch yesterday's video, that's why I did it this way. For the added protein and to act as a, for lack of a better word, a sponge, I added a hard-boiled egg to the bottom of the sandwich. In this container is the dressing that I made. Now, some may beg to differ. Geri, that's not carnivore, so it is what it is. I've got some turkey. Pulled this out of the freezer. I've got turkey, I've got ham, pepperoni, and Parmesan cheese. And of course, zesty garlic seasoning from Pluck. So let's put this guy together. Now, because there's not the flour, the gluten-y aspect, I was very hesitant in pouring what I would have if I was on the standard American diet, the dressing, right onto the bread. That's why I'm using the egg insofar as acting as a sponge. I am painting it very lightly on the top half of this grinder. See all the spices, olive oil, red wine vinegar to give it that little bit of a zip and a zing. I'm not putting any olives, not that there's anything wrong with it, but for this recipe, I am not putting olives in there. So the flavor of the dressing is going to go right onto the eggs, lightly onto the top part of the grinder. That's part one. And the first layer I put down is the turkey. 5 slices right on top of the egg and on top of the dressing. Part 2 done. Or maybe it's part 3. Now this is part 5 and part 6. I added 6 pieces of the Kirkland Black Forest ham. And now the zesty garlic. If I'm to guess, I would say probably a teaspoon of this, loaded with meat organs. So good seasonings. The extra kick of the garlic is phenomenal. Maybe I should use a little bit more on the bread side. Yeah, that's it. Put a little more on the bread side. It doesn't hurt. The additional protein and vitamins and minerals from this organ blend really gives it that extra kick, that little something something. And nope, I don't need iceberg lettuce. I don't need tomatoes, onions, nothing. This is a carnivore grinder with homemade dressing. Stay tuned for the next part. Okay, an additional part of the sandwich is to the grinder, always pepperoni. You gotta have a little zip, a little zing from the pepperoni. That's the layer on top of here. Lastly is I'm going to guesstimate with a pinch and say that this is an ounce. For those of you purists that don't believe in adding cheese, you don't have to. This is how I make mine. It is what it is. And we're all in this journey of whatever works for us, works for us. Time to cap it off. It's not saturated at all, but this extra flavor will meld all together perfectly. This is a mammoth sandwich. Let me show you the side view. Holy cats. This is one big sandwich. Let me tell you, it's huge. I really want to see how heavy this sandwich is. So, got the scale out, zero it out. Yikes. Zero it out to make sure we don't need milliliters. We need ounces. There we go. 0 ounces. Time for the mammoth sandwich. Wow. Any guesses? I'm going to guess that this is about 9 ounces. That's a guess. Bread, cheese, meat, the whole gambit. Well, I'm a little off. Just a hair over a pound. That is one heck of a sandwich. I'm going to have to cut it in half for my lunch at work today. This is huge. Will I be able to even finish it? I don't know. I think I will. To be continued. I have got to wrap this baby up super tight. And I put some paper towel on the bottom. And I'm going to get to the wrapping and show you what it looks like after. Now, I didn't do a before shot of how big the sandwich is in comparison to my hand. Just trust that my hand is this big. There we go. And this is the sandwich. So it fits into my hand. My hand's actually bigger than the sandwich, although I made it very tight, very compact, so it should be easier to eat tonight. I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to have this in the Denali dinner episode, or I will definitely need to go into the conference room and be hands-free to eat this monster with both hands and be able to film it. To be continued at work. There was a day that I remember that I had to have chips with my sandwich. Do I really need chips? When you have an Italian grinder, you make Parmesan chips. So I'm making 1 dozen chips to eat with my sandwich. I think this is a lot of food, considering. Yeah, I need the chips. Yes, indeed. Look at the view that I have to see driving. Who would have thunk? Out like a lamb, in like a lion, in like a lamb march, out like a lion. From my house, looking and taking the pictures this morning, I thought we had about 1.5 inches, but doggone, it's 29 degrees, and we were teased with that warm weather the last couple weeks. Periodic, sporadic, warm 60s weather days. And now, no, it's the snow. But that's the way it is. I remember being a little girl going into church. I'll turn the camera back around. Going into church wearing our Easter finest. White hats, white patent leather shoes, the little white purse, all that cutesiness. Just to walk out, and it was snowing. Now, Easter's coming later in the month of April, which is unusual because all of my life, growing up as a Catholic, for us, my birthday ended up February 18th, always during Lent. So I never had a birthday cake, but I've told you that story in previous videos, so I won't beat that to death. But now, after talking to my sister, now she's experiencing that because her birthday's in April. So I guess what comes around goes around, but it's very unusual to have late Easter. Snow in Wisconsin, not so much. Today's topic I want to speak about is definitely a scale victory because as you saw the picture, my scale read 221.6. Whoosh, whoosh. Now, it's not a look at what happened to me, therefore you should try my diet theory. I'm not going there. I am, however, going to talk about the fact that I personally need to get this weight off of me because I am looking at the hip surgery. Last year, April 19th, I had spine surgery. This year, I'm getting the hip surgery, the left hip first. I know it's going to be a whole lot less of a big whoop-de-doo than the spine. I realize it, but I don't need the extra poundage. Geri, myself, does not need the poundage on new hardware. Golly, you know, if I would have known then what I know now, like we all say when we're on a journey to gain better health, whatever way that you personally want to do it. For me, I have learned the hard way that cheating in my way of eating with carnivore, I would only cheat on myself when I would justify in my own mind, well, I can just have a bite of Jack's French fry, just one. I'll just try it. I will just take one spoonful of his hot fudge sundae. Seriously, you think I forgot how to eat a potato? Or you think I forgot what Culver's custard tastes like? No, I know what it tastes like. But this time, I am more aware of it because of what it did to me trying to lose weight for medical reasons. Trying to get down in size because this upcoming surgery is happening. This time last year, I weighed 250 pounds. And I did not lose an ounce or an inch after spine surgery because, let's be frank, it hurt like the dickens. So this time around, with the hip, I can, and I will be able to do walking, but it's going to get progressively better and better and better for me with the new hip. And I don't know what the future brings for me. I know that I was given a diagnosis. I know that arthritis sucks. I know that rheumatic fever wasn't a pleasure. I remember what it was like being 10 years old and having to walk all over again, learning how to walk. I, at age 64, do not want to be in a wheelchair, confined to not being able to walk, not having that mobility. I want all of that, and that's why I have chosen to be as close to strict as I possibly can. But from the video that you saw me making my sandwich, you're going to say, well, that's kind of dirty, don't you think, Geri? Dirty carnivore? It probably is. Spices and what have you. It probably is, but I don't have any iceberg lettuce because I've realized eating the crunch of the iceberg lettuce, seeing the bulk it is in a sandwich when you go to any sandwich shop and they ask if you want lettuce on top of anything sandwich that you want, and how it is really in essence a filler. What you see on that bun at lunchtime, you're going to see the next day, if you know what I mean. My body does not need lettuce. It does not, will not process lettuce like my body processes the need for meat and protein in my diet. That's me. I also know that people like my sister, the eldest daughter, they have meat aversions. They can't be without their pizza and their rolls and fillers, whatever the case may be, their noodles, etc. But I also can't beat it into their heads. You can only lead by example. You cannot lead by force. That's the message for today. I will see you guys at lunch when I eat that humongous double-fisted carnivore grinder. It's going to be something. It's going to be delightful. I can't wait. I will see you at lunch in the conference room. Have a great, until then, not have a great nothing. Until then, we'll talk soon. See you at lunch. I'm rambling. Well, I'm at the tanning salon. You can tell from the tanning bed down here, but I want to show you that this is the last day of this shirt. When I was a 3X, when I was a size 24, 26, I had beautiful real estate clothes, suits, etc., etc. And mentally, for me not to go back there, I burnt them all up. I burned it up as a sacrifice to say, never again, Geri. So this Mambo shirt, this is a 2XL tall. This is going. Today's the last day I'm wearing it. Just wanted to make this announcement, make it video, make it personal, make it serious. I can't go back anymore. That's me. No more. Burn, baby, burn the fat on the body and the extra clothes that I won't be wearing anymore. Well, here's the grinder in all its glory. I unwrapped it and it's not soggy at all. There it is. I did bring an extra tablespoon of the vinaigrette to go on there. There's the parm chips and of course bubble water. So cue 2001 A Space Odyssey music. Do 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 do. Now I have to turn the camera around and eat on camera. Yikes! There we go. That's the extra tablespoon of the vinaigrette on top. Yum. I'm ready for this. Okay, here's the monstrosity. I really don't know if I can finish this whole thing. This is humongous. Here we go. Oh, it's so good. It is fabulous. It does need some extra dressing though. Oh yeah. The roll, the bread itself, did not turn soggy at all. I need more dressing because I like sauce on things. And of course, I'm used to the full fat version. I shouldn't call it fat version because there's a lot of fat in here. I'm used to the full flavored version, the full carb version of these that are very saucy because of course they had vegetables in there. So this is phenomenal. You guys need to try this. But I am not going to eat this on camera for 20 minutes. I'm going to put it down, put the rest of the sauce on here, and of course have some chips because it's chips and grinder day. It's delicious. You gotta make it. You really have to make it. It's so good. And you don't need the vegetables. No. Later. Holy cats. That was a sandwich. A huge sandwich. And I did not eat the whole thing. Let me turn the camera around. I barely made it to the half point, but I only have 20 minutes for my lunch. So let me show you because I got to eat the protein. It's all about the protein. Here we go. That's it. That's the entire rest of the sandwich. That's a lot of protein on the inside, y'all. That's the bun. Like I said, if that's half, I think I dented it a little bit less than the half, but I can't. I hit the wall. But I realized that, doesn't it look like tomatoes? But there's no tomatoes in there. I'm only sorry I didn't bring more dressing because I like it saucy. And then it does taste sweet, and I think it's because of the red wine vinegar. That made it taste sweet to me, but I haven't had anything sweet in a while, so what do I know? That's it. I only have 8 more minutes to eat this protein. I'm going to take this back with me, back to the line and munch on that tonight, but I got to go. I'm going to close this out unless something happens between now and 9 o'clock when I go home. But other than that, thanks for watching. You got to make this. It's really good. The bread is not falling apart. It's not dry as the Sahara Desert. It's good, but I'm used to a grinder that's very saucy. So until we meet again, have a wonderful rest of your day, whatever time of day it is. Cheers, everyone.